I see people pouring in, so welcome, y'all.
Hey, everybody.
Yeah, I see Yvonne is here, Elle, Yuli, Eric, and I saw Eric, you restacked our invite from this week, so thank you for that. I did see that,
Thank you.
so I see stuff. um, but
That's
yeah,
good.
let's I don't know. I feel like we need some type of like I don't have no opening ritual, but oh hey Courtney.
Oh,
Of Queens, New York, okay.
Queens, New York.
New York is one of my favorite places.
CJ. Okay.
Mhm. CJ is our Cancer sun, right, CJ? Cancer sun friend? Yes, hello.
Oh, hello.
Actually, Netta's a Pisces, Courtney, so, water signs in the house. See
Yes.
y'all.
Yes, 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 yes.
Yes, very good at going with the flow.
Yeah, that's been my experience.
Mhm.
Can go with the flow, can move in.
Yeah, that's
A lot,
good.
a lot of times I go against the flow though.
Mm,
I'm not seem to be sometimes, especially growing up, I was the odd person out.
mhm,
I always going the opposite of what everyone was doing, so that made me, as a young person, even more definite to fit in.
mm.
So I would adjust myself to fit in, so I'm not going against the grain, I'm not the strange, weird person. But as I grew older, I started to brace like, "You know what? Yeah, I'm just not necessarily with the group."
Yeah,
However I show up, however I think, what I do, that's what Imma do. Imma go with my flow.
yeah, I used to get in trouble for that a lot.
Did you?
Oh my god,
For
yeah.
going with your flow?
Well, just, Capricorn sun, Aries rising, Libra moon. And I feel like the Libra moon, the balance aspects of me, like in the wanting to like belong, always definitely was the undercurrent for sure. Cause
Mhm,
I have Libra in the seventh house of partnerships. So
mhm,
partnerships is a big part of my life, whether that's
mhm,
friendships or relationships. They're big parts of my life and my growth. And
mhm.
okay, I'm gonna need y'all to stop. Y'all were doing fine. I'm gonna need y'all to chill. We love each other, Netta, but
See?
sometimes they have a moment. Sorry, mom
Yep,
came out for
that
me for a second.
feline.
I had to say, "Y'all need to chill," because they get so y'all, if y'all don't know anything about cats, what happens is they'll groom each other and they'll be, like, all lovey-dovey, but one of my baby, Karma, she gets really overstimulated, and she
Mm,
kinda is like a dog to me. She'll play by herself, she'll be meowing out loud, talking to herself. And so
mhm.
she likes to play a little rougher than my other cat likes to, and so they'll be grooming each other, they'll be fine, and then all of a sudden, something breaks out and Harry's like, "Please leave me alone." This feels so good, it's so peaceful over here. So Imma need y'all to chill, okay? Sorry, the mom will come out of me here and there, my bad, y'all.
Do they
Um,
get that when you say that? Do they
yes, yeah,
they
they
do?
broke that
Okay.
up. One is over there
Oh,
eating, the other one's like
okay, 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 that's
yeah,
good.
they understand. Don't let the
Okay,
animals fool you. They understand what is going
okay,
on. They know.
okay, okay.
Yeah.
It just can when it comes to cat, they just seem to be so much, "I rule this." So, "What are you talking about? Do
Yeah.
not tell me to shush."
No, they know. See, she's in her little, hammock right now. She got in there, she's like, "Look, okay, mom, I heard you." Yeah, so but we'll have times where she wants to have a standoff with me, you know? Well, and my cats
Mhm,
are extra stubborn. My black cat is a Taurus, stubborn, the bull, and then
mm.
my my Karma is a Capricorn like me, so and we
Mm,
stubborn too. So it's just
mm,
what it is.
an interesting mix.
Yeah, but we're mostly a very peaceful household. It's just every now and then they get overstimulated and they need to go have their separate corners, like kids. They're fine
Yes.
for a little bit, then
Mhm,
something erupts and they need to go hang out in your corners and then
mhm,
come back together later on. So, um,
mhm.
but yeah, so yeah, I used to get in trouble for just speaking my mind a lot. I would just say the first thing that comes into my head, you know? Like
Mhm.
today, I was in the I was in the beauty supply store, uh,
Mhm.
and I
Mm-mm.
couldn't help myself because this is, like, one of my normal go-to places,
Mhm.
and the music in there was jumping, like, they had the volume up loud, loud,
Mm,
like, they had soul funk music playing, and then funk music is, like, one of my favorite,
mm,
genres, and so when
mhm.
I walked in, I was like, "Oh, it's jumping in here," and I didn't realize I said it out loud, and when I said it, I was like, "Oh, okay," so sometimes I had to slow down and not say the first thing that comes to my mind, um, but yeah, but I used to
Yeah.
for it a lot. They're like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But you don't."
I know, I know.
You know?
Being free, living free will do that to you.
Mhm, where you're
You
like,
just
"Oop,
walk in.
you're not in your house."
Did I say that out loud?
Mhm, where you're like, "Oh, okay, alright." Um, well, I
That's
feel like
it.
that's a really good segue into today,
Okay.
um, because we're here with Netta, y'all. Netta Faye of the True Self
Hey, y'all.
Society, and living free is a part of that mission, right?
It is, yes.
But something that I've been learning from the high priestess Lakeisha of the Story Temple is that not all of us write free, right? Some of us
Right.
are, we are we're stopped by something that's been put on us, like what we're just talking about right now. People tell me
Right.
a little too honest,
Me too,
little
honest.
don't go with the flow enough for us,
Yeah, yeah.
always
Want to
trying
be
to drum your own
accepted,
track.
wanna be along.
Mhm.
Yeah. No, don't want any critiques.
Yes.
We
Yeah.
write to that sometimes.
Mhm. So I wanna start with one, just saying congratulations about the fact that you launched your 2nd book. It was a labor
Thank you.
of love.
Thank you, thank you. I appreciate that, and I wanna say thank you, for joining me on the tour of the Book of Burnett, a virtual tour, and I appreciate your generosity for offering your house, to this conversation. It means a lot to me, and yes, I was excited to work with I'm gonna say work with my dad to put out this book, the Book of Burnett, 42 Truths for Living Life Well, Fully, and Without Regret. And these are his words, not mine. It's written from his perspective, not mine. And on the cover, it just says, as retold by Netta Faye, and that's it. There's nothing else about me specifically as an author on
Mhm.
this piece of work because I work with him to channel more so the meanings behind the 42 truths.
Yeah.
My brothers and I remember so much what dad would say. Anytime we were talking together, usually something he said would come out. And I started to write them down because also I was repeating them to my children, my nieces and nephews, and whoever, I was talking to, listening and started to collect them and got to be a lot of them and just these 42 made it in, but I needed to hear from my dad to understand more about what they meant to him. He left 5 years ago December. He left this realm and loved to talk, loved to share, loved to spread wisdom. I'd like to say that anytime you sat down with him, he slided across like it was a piece of sweet potato pie because he loved doing that type of thing. And now we're just making it available to everyone else that
Mm.
hopefully they can take what he lived and spare us, having to repeat what he did,
Yeah.
having to learn the lessons he did, you know.
Mm, that's beautiful. That's
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah, our ancestors have a lot to say,
Mhm.
and they exampled a lot. And unfortunately, generations go on, we can too easily forget that, which is probably one of the great things of a Black History Month that we sometimes are intentional to remember. Although we know it's a 24/7 type of a thing that's occurring now, but when we intentionally take time to remember, we can say, they were badasses.
They were.
Yeah, badasses. Substack I wrote this week about John H. Johnson and what he did with creating Ebony. And I just sat with that for a little bit because he just pulled that from the ground up.
Mhm.
No support from the industry, no money from the banks, nothing, but he had a passion to present stories of Black people in a way that wasn't being presented,
Yeah,
and it's just, like, badass.
it is, it is. They
There's a
do have a
lot
lot
to
to
tell.
say. Yeah. I mean, and our elders now have a lot to say. It's just our people listening sometimes is what I wonder, uh,
Yes.
more than anything, you know?
Yes, 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 yes. You know, I don't know if it's a human thing or a youth thing, people needing to feel like they should make their own mistakes.
Mhm,
So certainly we should carve out the directions we want our lives to go, but that doesn't necessarily mean repeating mistakes that have already been proven a certain way.
mhm.
Wisdom would tell us, go back and see who else is doing what you think you're wanting to do. See what happened with this. Can you learn from them? Can you build off of what they've already experienced to save yourself some time and some energy and effort? And so, yeah, you may make your own new mistake, but at least it's new. You know?
Yeah,
It doesn't have to be repeated for it to be valid.
yeah. I guess what I will say as someone who is like, kind of I guess I autonomy is a big piece for me and something my mom and my grandma both had to learn the hard way about me is
Mhm.
that they have to have a discussion with me, you know? Cuz like if it didn't make sense in my brain, I wasn't making a change, because I don't
Yeah.
understand what you're like, if I'm asking you a question, it's not me challenging your authority, it's not me saying that what you're saying doesn't make sense, like, it's not
Mhm.
clicking for me, so I
Yeah.
gotta understand before I just, adopt that, you know,
Mhm.
way of
Mhm.
being
But
or being
but it
yeah.
sounds like at least you're open to having the discussion
Mhm,
to see, because you
mhm,
do have to buy into what it is. Maybe there are some lessons that you have to experience. Don't touch that hot stove. Okay, you touched it. Now you see why I told you not to touch it.
mhm,
You know, you can look at it and say that's crazy, but you will then know, okay, that stove is hot. I'm not gonna touch it. I
yeah,
see why they told me not to touch it again.
yeah,
And a lot of the things that, my dad taught, he started sharing things with my brothers and I when we were we were young.
mhm,
Sometimes it is difficult to appreciate the truth that's being put in your lap until you've lived a little bit, until
mhm,
you've seen a few things, and then you say, "Oh, that's what they were talking about. That's
yes,
what they meant." Because now the experience has come to your door.
yeah.
Yeah.
It makes me laugh 'cause I think about those types of movies, um, it's always these non-melanated people in these movies, these children, like, like in those horror movies or like
Yeah.
there's a sense of urgency and they don't really sense the danger of what's going on around them, and their parents are just trying to, like, urgently get them to do something because we're in danger. Like, I don't have
Yeah.
time to explain to you why we're in danger, but
Why
I
we're in
just
danger.
think of that, yeah.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, no, it is about sometimes needing to have lived a little bit, but also like, being open to conversation.
Mhm. Mhm.
But now my grandma and I have the richest conversations,
Mhm.
like the richest conversation.
Yep, yep, yep. You have some experience under your belt, and you probably have come across a few things where you say, "Oh, grandma was right about that." So even if you guys have a new discussion about something, you haven't talked about before, you might be hearing her in a more keen sense,
Mhm.
a more in greater appreciation because of that other thing she told you that turned out to be truth, from her experience. And some of what, I was wanting to get from my dad to learn why these were important to him was to learn the stories and to
Mhm.
remember the stories behind why he embraced some of these things.
Mm.
Whether it was a financial strain, raising, a new family, building a house and all those things, he experienced some living in the red financially,
Yeah.
so and how to navigate those things out. So when a lot of times when we hear the stories behind them, we get appreciation where, no, I don't have to repeat that because I hear what you're saying.
Okay.
When you
Yeah.
have to borrow from Peter to pay Paul and then fix all these things, yeah, no, I don't wanna experience that. So I'm gonna take your word for it.
Mhm. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely remember
Yeah.
some of those lessons for sure. Mm.
Yeah.
Um, so, okay, in you collaborating with your father to, like, write this, Lakeisha actually just entered the room. We were just talking about you earlier,
Hey,
Lakeisha,
Lakeisha.
about writing free and how because, in my experience, when I started, like, channeling things and writing and then being done writing and being like, "Oh," and going back and being like, "Oh, I wrote that?" Like, and
Mhm.
how did you kinda move out of your head to write free and be like, "Okay, this is actually what I'm hearing?" Because that's a common question I hear from people about, "How do I know if my intuition is real? How do I know if what I'm hearing is what I'm hearing?" Right?
Mhm.
How did you get out of your own way to write free for this book?
Yeah, yeah. So, definitely something resonates within me. When I'm writing something, I can tell, is that me? Is that truth? Does that feel right? In this particular work, it was my dad. I'm thinking, is this my dad? Does this sound right? Is this what he would say? Is this what I remember hearing over and over again? So it's the resonance for me. And when I write things and I rewrite it to fit a situation, to shrink or to hide or whatever. I also feel that too. I also feel that the untruth of that thing.
Mm,
So even then, I have to go back and say, how do I make this true? How do I honor my truth and have some care about how it lands? But the majority of the time, probably 100% of the time, we have no responsibility in how it lands.
mm,
We only can, own how we put it out and what energy we put it out, and we would hope for it maybe a certain type of landing, but we can't control that. We don't own that. We don't there's nothing we can do
mm,
about how it might land with people. We hope that it resonates with them, but it not. So those are kind of like my guides.
mm,
How much of this is true, what's not true. I want to be on a path of saying the truth because that's what I know. That's what I can not so much defend, but that's what I can speak to,
mm,
right? I don't have to figure out the truth of my words.
mhm,
I'll have to figure out the deception of my word, or if I write an untruth, at some point, I have to figure that out. If somebody
mm,
asks me about it, I have to think, "Okay, well, what was that?" Right? Because it's not truth for me.
okay.
So mostly with me, it's just resonating with what's true.
Is that like a, feel it in your body? Do you maybe circle it over and over again because it's not feeling like truth? Like, what does that process look like?
I think it's both of them. I feel
Mm,
it in my body, usually my gut. And sometimes it's immediate. Oh no, that's not you.
mm,
No, that's not it. That's
mm,
not right. Um, and and then, sometimes I will circulate it, but usually it's pretty immediate now because I just so don't want to be on the side of untruth to me, right?
yeah.
My truth. Um, your question reminds me of a funny encounter I had with Alexa last week. I forget why I asked this question. I forget what prompted me to ask this question, but I asked Alexa, when did Christianity begin?
Mm.
Something I
What
was
did Alexa say?
contemplating. Yeah, something I was contemplating. And Alexa, stop. She heard me there. I asked her that, and she said it began in 33 AD. And I said, "Oh, that's not true." And then she answered, it's like, "Well, what about it makes you not think it resonates?" So
Girl.
Thinking, "Girl, I'm not trying to have a conversation with you."
Oh, they're too
But
sophisticated.
I don't know what's happening with this thing. I don't know if they're making them for people to have a friend in the house maybe, 'cause, they I think this iteration of her now is more conversational,
I don't
more
like that.
friendly, more conversational, but I that's the only thing I actually at 33 AD, I'm like, "Oh, that's not true." She's like, "Well, what about it that you think don't make it true?" I'm like, "Ooh, please don't make me unblock you,
Yeah, Imma
girl."
need you to go and, do some research, Alexa, and come back because what you
Yeah, Lakeisha.
yeah, you said not Alexa, get the back talk.
Give it back talk. It is. And
That's what
I'm
these
thinking,
devices
"Oh,
that's what these devices do. My Google be doing whatever she wanna
yeah,
do.
yeah." But then I'm thinking, "Okay, well, see, that's another indication of conditioning,
Mhm.
right? Who trained this tool to have that response? That was an input
Yes.
that the story of, Jesus's death birthed this religion." And I'm thinking, "Oh, what?" What? Oh, no. But again, that was the answer, that's the conditioning. And a lot of times when we critique our writings, that's all that is, it's conditioning. Somewhere we have taught, "Oh, this isn't the proper way to do it." Um, Someone's gonna be angry with you. "Oh, I can hear the back talk now, I can hear the responses now, but somebody gonna go all off on me." I'm like, "Okay, what do you want? Do you wanna write you? Or do you wanna just shape yourself?"
Mm,
It can be another form of shaping yourself,
yeah.
you know?
Mm,
But, the outcome matters, the intent matters. What I wanted to do with this, channeling the things from my dad was to give people that piece of him that my brothers and I got and anyone, his congregation and things like that got, again, to spare us, to learn, to say, "These are things that can help you with your decision making, with
mm,
your choices, every day." You can take what works for you, spit out the rest, whatever that works, but don't waste your time repeating what our ancestors already done.
mhm,
That way we can stand on their shoulders and go further
mhm,
without backtracking
mhm. Mm,
to it. Yeah.
that's beautiful. I had this professor in,
Mhm.
college, and it changed a lot of things. Fitzgerald, actually, I remember him because he was like, "Your essays, at minimum, should be, like, 700 words, right?" He said, "You can go above that, but you can't go below it. So if
Mm.
you are able to articulate yourself and what you're trying to accomplish in anything above 700 words, then go ahead and
Mhm.
submit it if you feel confident in your writing about that." And
Mhm.
that just, like, released the, like, floodgates for people. Like, it was easier to write. It wasn't like, "Oh,
Mm.
it's 10 to 12 pages," and, like, what am I gonna say over and over again in the same 10 to 12
I
pages?
know, I
Just
know. I remember those times where you could have written it in 2 sentences. It was like 3 paragraphs to say the same thing
Mhm.
just to hit a page count.
Yes,
I
yes.
remember that time, remember
Mhm,
those times.
mhm.
But again, the rules that people make,
Yes.
just even with grammar, I'm thinking English and grammar, some of that stuff is the craziest things. And at some point, I said, somebody's going to call me out for saying, um, Empress Theodora and me. Yeah, come join Empress and me. Oh, no, it should be Empress and I. Okay, what? I'm not doing that. Not doing it.
Well, I mean, it's so funny because, like, English itself is such a, stolen language, if you will. It's stolen from all
Mhm.
all other folks'
Piece
language.
together a quilt.
Yes, pieced together,
Mhm,
mashed up.
mhm,
So,
mhm.
I just think it's so comical. But, again, that's where that ancestral wisdom, right, comes back in of, like, staying true to who we are because we know that language was a way to keep a lot of us out, and
Yes.
so we're now trying to adopt, continuing to adopt and perpetuate some of the things that were used against us to begin with, you know? So
Right.
it's there's always an origin point, it feels like, with these conversations, you know?
Mm. Mhm.
You know what, Netta? Here go that man.
Uh-oh.
2 minutes away. Okay.
Okay, okay,
We're cooking. They got past the gate. Okay, so he'll bring it up and we'll be good. Okay.
okay.
We did it. Okay.
Yay.
Y'all, just so y'all know, my groceries and stuff were supposed to be here like an hour before this talk, and it is now. So this is supposed to be going on. I was telling Netta that folks in Texas, when there's any like minor weather inconvenience, like it gets weird around here. It's like everybody slows down. Like so, it's just
Mm.
raining a little bit. It's not even like heavy rain. But yeah, everything was late. Um, but yeah, yeah, these things we keep, you know, putting on ourselves. It seems like so. Okay, you have your own process of discernment when it comes to you know, um, your writing process, especially when channeling, because I know that that's definitely a pain point that I hear a lot of. And like when I first started listening to my intuition, I was like, "Am I really hearing the right thing?" Like last night, I was playing sound bowls with Lamar, and I heard
Mhm.
a voice tell me, "Get crazy," and I was like, "Okay." So it's real loud. Like, I don't know. Okay, y'all. And, you know, there was, feedback about side whoever needed it or got it, but it's just funny where I used to be like, "Oh, are you sure?" Like, duh, like negotiate.
Mhm. Mhm. Yep, yep,
So,
yep.
yeah.
If we do not, cultivate that free flow, so, like, when you heard that, you, uh, just went and did it,
Mhm,
when we cultivate that, new things come.
mhm.
Okay, and I know there's nothing new under the sun, but that doesn't mean we've seen everything
Yeah,
under the sun. So when you do that, the new, the unseen can come forward, you know, because we haven't seen it. You don't know what it looks like. Yeah, it could look like the crazy sound bowl effect. And you immediately birth something. So all of these wonderful things, these devices and transportation things, and now the drones and all these things, come because someone was open enough to receive the crazy, to receive the unheard, to hear. So I think it will do us well to get comfortable with that in writing, in expressing ourselves, that it can come through us and it can be uh strange, but you say, I'm gonna go with this strange and see where it takes me, and
yeah,
it can take you to a wonderful place.
it can.
Yeah.
We're at a good point. I'm gonna
Okay.
head to the door. So,
Okay.
Netta, you wanna talk to the folks and tell them more
I
about this?
will. I
And
will.
tell
I
them how to
will.
buy it and put the link and all of that in here, and I'll be right back.
Sure. Sure, 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 sure. So, this is the book of Burnett, and one of the things that talked to Empress about was reading a little bit from chapter 31. It's about love, and I know it's Valentine's Day, and Galentine's Day was yesterday. Full disclosure, I don't really get into those things because I don't want a calendar telling me how to express love in any kind of way. So even with my hubby and I, we vowed to not do things on this day, because my thing to him is do it the other 364 days a year. Then I really don't care about this one day. Make sure you do the other 364. I say that to my children too. Yeah. You can not even think about me on Mother's Day, but those other 364 days, I want to be top of your mind. So chapter 31 is one of my dad's truths and saying that he stood on. It is entitled "Love is like a rubber ball. It out it ought to bounce both ways." Love is like a rubber ball. It ought to bounce both ways. So that was a big one for him. And his thing was that, love is an expression that we do within relationships. And if yours is always going out and nothing's ever coming in, it's something you should check. And you should say, let me think about why that is. So I wanted to read to you verse 5 through 7. So my dad was a minister. He pastored a congregation for almost 50 years, and he was a moderator over an association of some 30 churches. So he grew up Black Baptist Christian. So all of that was kind of part of his environment. So he was very much Bible. So having this done in chapter and verse seemed very fitting to who he was and his character. So this is chapter 31. I'm going to read verses 5 through 7. But when you're ignorant to even the slightest depth of love, you may think of it as a one-way street. You give it out, but don't look for it back. Or you're glad to receive it, but never return it. Yet love is an active participant in the universal law of sowing and reaping. It was never meant to be a one-way offering. Shared through various types of relationships, such as with self, God, family, spouse, friends, or acquaintances, it becomes a living exchange, not a demand, not a debt, not a chore, a living exchange. So that's a little bit in that chapter, but the crux of it is that expression of love, it is outward from within us, from within us outward. But in relationships, there should be some reciprocation. We can love people we've never met and would never encounter. And that's cool. We wish them well. We can express love to them. But if we're in relationships with people, those expressions of love, there should be balance in it. And we should not only want to give it, but we should also want to receive it. So if you are doing something for this day, make sure it's in balance. Make sure it's true. That is not because Hallmark told you to do it. But make sure it is true you that you're doing it. So that's
Mm,
a little bit from Burnett on love. That it should bounce both ways.
yeah, I love that. Thank you for sharing, that
No
passage with us.
problem. Welcome back.
Yes. Um, it's interesting because I wrote down chapter 31 kind of as our jumping off point, but we took a turn.
Sure.
Because we've been talking a lot about visibility, reciprocity. Um,
Mhm.
so I wanna talk about kind of the goal that you set for yourself in that conversation that we had initially.
Yes, yes. That was interesting, and that was it before your scene
Yes, it was.
manifesto? But
Yeah,
maybe about a week or 2 before?
yeah.
So you might have been already kinda brewing that 'cause, I'm not sure, but anyway, I guess the spirit, which is also interesting that I would put that out there, uh, in our conversation
Mhm,
that I desired to get the Book of Burnett into the hands of 50,000 readers.
mhm,
And I forget the specifics of our exchange, but you responded back by saying, that's not big enough. That's not enough. Yes, the spirit is saying, that's not big enough. And I accepted it right away. But I think I then went through some of the things you mentioned in being seen is that that resistance might come, that questioning might come, that doubt might come, a little fear might come, and by especially doing this in public. But I don't know. I embraced it right away, and I said, "You're right. You're right. I'm going to double it. I want to put the Book of Burnett in the hands of 100,000 readers,
mhm.
and I'm gonna stand on that."
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, sometimes my lower self will say, you sure?" Oh, wait a minute. Oh, then my higher self had to say, "Hey, calm down, chick. Just calm down. It's good. We're trusting on that. We're believing on that." You know, and like Burnett would say in another chapter, "It's not my doing. It's spirit doing. It's God doing. What I can't do, God can.
Mhm.
Trust that."
Yeah,
So, yeah, yeah, yeah.
that is the
Um, you have this is something to get comfortable with, right? Because we were taught. I know growing up, I was taught, so much to keep hidden. You
Mhm,
don't tell things. You don't share your goals. You don't do. It's kind of hidden. And I guess I am a proponent about maybe you don't have to tell everybody certain things. It depends on what it is, right? You got to
mhm,
use some wisdom in what you share. But there's some power in sharing these things out loud, like with your goal. You
yeah,
know, yeah, the all things are possible.
mhm.
Everything is possible.
It is. It is. It definitely is. Yeah, my past mentor, he would say, if, your goal is this, you need to double it because then, because we're raising our frequency, he's like, if you're going for like, let's say it's 100,000, right? You'll
Mhm,
end on, your
mhm,
50,000. Like,
mhm, mhm.
reach for the moon, land for the stars, or I forget. I always get
Yeah,
that.
yeah. I think it's you reach for the moon, you land them on the stars.
Yeah.
And like you said, both of them are really, really high.
Mhm. Exactly,
So that's a good thing. Yeah. And I think speaking the thing, even if it's to yourself initially, is evidence that it exists,
Yes.
right? And it kind of aligns with the faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. So that is evidence. The fact that you can think it first and then you dare to speak it second is evidence that it exists.
Mhm.
So now you just need to walk toward it or call it toward you or however works in your, attraction area.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And be mindful and intentional to not do anything opposite of that.
Mhm.
To not start convincing yourself, oh, 10,000 is plenty enough. Are you greedy? No.
Our brains be trying to protect us so
Yeah.
they're like, "Stay safe, stay
Just,
hidden."
just
No.
yeah. Aren't you glad for that too? Well, yeah, I'm grateful for everyone,
Mhm.
but the goal is what the goal.
Mhm.
Yep,
Yes, the goal is the goal. That is
yep,
true.
yep, yep.
Mm.
Sometimes you have to go and find receipts, as people say, that it has happened before in your own life where you believe for something that may have seemed impossible, and yet there it is on your kitchen table
Yep,
or somebody else's life,
exactly. Exactly.
right? Yeah, again, with our ancestors. You think about what John H. Johnson did back in the 1960s.
Mhm.
That's a big receipt to me.
That is. Well, and I had this manager who would do this, and I copied her, starting last year, and she has a book of wins. So, like, no matter how big, no matter how small, you
Oh,
write
yeah.
it in your book, and when you're feeling kinda, "Oh, no, I don't know if I can do," then you pull out your book of wins, and you're like,
I
"Oh, I
like
did
that.
that." I was like, "Oh, I did a lot."
I like that.
Mhm,
Yeah. A book
mhm.
of wins. We just need reminding sometimes,
Yeah.
and again, conditioning, ego, the world will get us looking, oh, yeah, don't put yourself out there, keep you small, like you said, try to keep you safe. But, where we want to go, what we want to do, you know, the concept of safe doesn't fit that,
Mm-mm.
you know.
It doesn't. It
Yeah.
does not.
Yep, yep, yep.
Hmm.
So I like your scene messaging, what you're doing
Thank
with
you.
the manifesto. I like that. And I forwarded your YouTube page. I shared it with some of um my children's circle of friends,
Yeah.
because I'm thinking, this is a good thing to start embracing
Mhm.
in your life, to be okay being seen.
Yeah.
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 So I'm encouraging them to get the manifesto and see what they can work out and what they're doing.
Thank you for
Yeah.
sharing that.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
No problem.
That's a part of the scene, journey too is the reciprocity, so I appreciate that as well.
No
Um,
problem.
but yeah, I really liked, chapter 31, um, just the messaging around that because that is very in alignment with that, you know? Um, okay, so we touched on visibility and some reciprocity.
Mhm.
Now
Mhm.
I know you really liked so I had this whole other outline that I had sent to Netta, like, you know, 'cause I'm in my
You
lab,
did.
then all of a sudden something else comes out, and I'm like, "Okay." I'm flexible, I'm fluid. Um, but you really liked the aspects of that outline that talked about the Fool, the Magician, and the High Priestess and the Empress, right?
Right.
And so I'll break them down in a way that's kind of simple for folks because I know it can get overwhelming learning this stuff or hearing it all together. So your process, I wrote here on my piece of paper Netta's process, and then I wrote Fool, Magician, and High Priestess and the Empress together.
Mhm.
So the Fool kind of goes through the Fool is like the beginning of the Fool's journey, y'all, in the tarot with the major arcana, right?
Mhm.
Major arcana is a set of 22 cards, and they have life and themes and lessons, right, that happen. And so when we meet the Fool on the Fool's journey, think of someone who is excited, they've just gotten an idea, kind of like that stage that you talk about, Netta, where we're
Mhm.
like, we're discerning, we're just getting information, we're just getting fired up. We might not be sharing just yet. It's like this
Mhm.
has been planted, but we don't really know what to do with it or how to tend to it, or like that might have you been you in the shower getting the flash of like, "Oh, I'm supposed to
Mhm.
write this book with my dad," you know, I don't know,
Mhm.
but we'll talk about that.
Mhm.
But just
Mhm.
for an idea, that's that part of the Fool's Journey. You're just excited. You don't know nothing yet. God's just
Mhm.
giving you the message, and now
Yeah.
you're oh, and I think it's funny because we all always ask, "What's our purpose? What am I supposed to do next? Help me, tell me." And then
Yeah.
we're like, "Oh, we don't necessarily know what to do with it yet." That okay, we were asking for the wrong things. We need the idea and the playbook. Thank you. Or the lessons so that I know what to do with it, you know?
Right.
Um, then there's the magician who is that the fool meets on its journey next, and the magician is like has like a table full of tools, right? And the magician in my mind, and I think I've heard this somewhere before too, but it's so above as below, right? So it's like the spiritual and the physical are meeting when it comes to
Mhm.
manifestation. So it's not just about manifestation for manifestation's sake. It's also about you have all these tools in front of you.
Yeah.
It's, you know, faith without works is dead. That's what I feel like
Yeah.
the magician is because you have
Yeah.
all of this in front of you. So the magician introduces the fool to his tools, right? And now
Mhm.
up to the fool to use the tools in front of them.
Mhm.
Then and I put them together, the high priestess and the empress, because they really do go together, but they're about visibility, but different parts of visibility, right? So the high priestess is the one that's still cultivating that intuition. So it's got the rah-rah that the magician's got, it's got the tools, it understands, but the high priestess is like, now I need to listen and I need to digest and I need to discern what's for me, what's not for me, like, you know,
Mm.
like
Mm.
being visible to myself first. We
Mm.
talk about
Mhm.
that. And then the Empress comes in, and the Empress is in most of the representations that I like, especially this beautiful deck I have. It's one
Mm.
written this black woman is gorgeous, but she's pregnant and her belly is exposed. And
Mhm.
being pregnant is a very internal process, but it's also a very external experience because people are witnessing you birth something.
Birth. Yeah, birth something. Yeah.
Yeah. So there are all these different phases, but I wanted to start with the full aspect, like the excitement. So what was it like when what was that moment when you were like, "Oh, I'm doing this," and you
Yeah.
the idea? Oh, okay.
Yeah. It was really excited. It was really quickly too because again, having conversations with my siblings and like I said, my spitting out a lot of these truths to my children and their friends started to say, you're these are rotating around your mind a lot. And I started to write it down, not really thinking to create put it in book form to share with other people, but thinking, man, these are things are coming around a lot. Let me start writing them down. So I asked my brothers, what things do you guys remember? And they just come back with lots of stuff and everything. So it was like a high energy. I'm thinking, maybe we can do something with this. And it was exciting. It was like, wow, look at all these things that dad look at this. Um, but then I thought, so that was the exciting part of the food. It was um, high energy, excitement, kind of that a warm and fuzzy remembering all of dad and knowing that these things were so vibrant and how they are showing up in our lives too. We're proving these same things that he proved and like he was so right when he said this and everything. We didn't believe him back then, but we were right, things like that. So it was that good energy and that kinda good camaraderie and warm and fuzzy, feel good. But then I thought, I think this would be good to share.
Mhm,
And then I thought, "Well, I wanna know more." And that's when I really turned inward, to him. The first part, we're kinda outward, just remember, like, my brothers and I kind of putting down this list together. But then the second part was, there needs to be something behind it so to explain a little bit more about what you meant and what were you talking about and what were you going through. So I turned inward with him. So that was another, maybe a magician type moment because it was the tools, it was the time I spent with him. Um and just trying to decipher, kind of where these things came from in and throughout his life and examples in his life that support these things. Um, so that probably was that part of the
mhm,
magician. And then I started to put it all together. And it happened fairly quickly.
mhm,
I would have to say once I thought to do it, it happened very quickly. I didn't go through a lot of um process things like I did with the first book, just tucking in time. There are different types, there are different books. The first one was a fiction, this is a nonfiction. So there was some ticking in time that happened in the first book that I didn't have to do in this one.
yeah,
But it was just like, I'm gonna just put this out there, do it the best I can, self-published, just put it out there. It was just something easy, but uh toward completion. It was not a heavy, hard up the mountain lift
mhm,
like the first one.
mm,
There was ease about it.
yeah,
So, in liking what you described, the empress and the priestess did come together for it to just say, "Hey, we're birthing this. We're putting it together. You're gonna do the best you can. Push, push, push. Get it out."
mhm,
And it did. And things done. Things just kind of roll. Like, how did it get to be 42? I don't know. Maybe it was dad, it got to be 42. And, it segments itself perfectly into themes of wisdom.
mhm,
So, there are, 7 wisdom paths, about money, about relationships, about integrity, whatever that they fall into. Um It it kinda worked itself out that we could launch it on his birthday, that would've been his 95th birthday,
yeah,
January 35th. Just things kinda fell into place with
mhm,
more ease than I would've thought,
mm,
especially compared to my getting the first book out.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So,
Wow. That's how you know it was divine and aligned.
yeah, it was just aligned. just no resistance, really.
Mhm.
Yeah, just no resistance, so
That's
but,
beautiful.
yeah, and I like that framework you're putting out there because I think you have a few videos about that, a few few episodes about that, but it makes so much sense to me,
Mhm.
in putting things out, in creating and going about your journey, creating your life, these different kind of stages come along to help you do it. Yep,
Yeah.
and they each carrying different things to piece it together.
Yeah, and what I heard in your story too, what's interesting is, like, and I'm glad you told it, for everybody listening, like, the Fool's Journey, there might be some stages that you've already mastered, right? So, it's not necessarily in order, I just tell it in order because that's how we all, keep up
Mhm.
with it. But some of this stuff, you deal with at different times depending on what your path is. So, that's one thing I love about like spirituality, astrology, tarot, like just all these different tools is just another language to explain human experience.
Mhm.
I feel like the Book of Burnett, like very clearly another language to explain very human experiences.
Human experience.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Mhm.
It is, and it's for us. Everything I did, none of it shouted like, "Oh, I want my name to be great. Burnett's trying to be great." It wasn't for him. It's for us.
Mhm.
And we can look at a lot of experience, and I think that's the benefit of sharing our experiences with one another. We can benefit from those things.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that. Well, I appreciate you sharing and putting it out into the world
Thank
because
you. I'm excited. I'm excited about it, and I'm excited to march toward that goal and keep that flame, keep that desire lifted,
yeah.
lifted up to get it in hand. So you can get the book anywhere you buy books.
Where do you want people to buy the book most though? Like what's your
Yeah.
platform?
My preferred one is through my publisher, and I can send you the link if you want to add it to the notes.
Please do.
Do that. Yep. That would be great, but if that's difficult for people, just wherever you buy books would be great.
Okay.
I
So
appreciate that.
all the book places. Okay.
All the book places. Yep, yep,
I love
yep.
I love that.
Yep, yep, yep. Do we have time for you to do a pool?
Oh yeah, we have time. So
Okay.
you're the guest of honor. So
Okay.
that
Especially, are you using your new deck?
oh, I have my heart. Are you talking about the one I made?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
I
yeah.
have both. Well,
Okay. Well,
so
you
I
choose.
think everybody's confused. So that Afro, the one that I've been posting the notes with this week, I've had that deck. I just I don't um I bring it out for certain like for certain things, you know. So
Mm-hmm.
I have a lot of different tarot decks. Um
Oh, okay.
so
Okay.
I have my I call it's a learner's deck, but I like it because it has all of the elements, it has the chakras, it has like yeses and nos. Like I like that aspect,
Oh,
the
okay.
actual visuals of it, which is nice.
Okay.
And then I have my heartstrings oracle, my music one here. So,
Oh, okay.
I feel like I wanna do something experimental since you're here with me, and I'm gonna do what Lamar did to me yesterday with you, and I'm gonna use
Okay.
you as my cover for today for something
Okay.
new. That's what she told me, she said, "I'm gonna use
Hey.
you as my cover." Um, so I'm gonna
That
pull
Lamar.
yeah, I know, she's so funny. I'm gonna, pull for you, but anybody in the audience, if you want to put a question in the chat, oh, and that's how we ended up on that conversation in the first place. I had put out a post telling folks that, I would give them, a card or 2, and, that's when we had that conversation. That's right.
Oh,
I
yes, yes,
haven't done it
yes,
live.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes, 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 yes. Okay.
So if anybody wants to put a question in the chat, and after I pull for Netta, I will pull for you, and we'll sit in it together. Why not?
Why not?
So,
Mm.
just so everybody knows, I'm not really, like, into sometimes I get direct hits of, like, "No, tell them this," right? But it's not predictive. I'm very much so the energy around something, possibly how it feels in my body, next steps, anything that's hidden that needs to be illuminated. I'm not gonna be like, "Next week, this is gonna happen." That's not my forte.
Mhm.
Also, if you ask a question and I get the vibes that you know the answer, sometimes your ancestors, depending on how stubborn you've been about it, they gonna tell me to tell you to try again, like 8 ball style, like, you know the answer, it's not gonna be like so this is just disclaimers I like to tell people because we keep it real around here. Because sometimes we know the answers to these things, but we
Mhm.
just,
Isn't
we don't
that
do it.
funny? Aren't we funny?
We are.
Aren't we funny like that? We already know the answer, and
Mhm,
10 people have already come and given it to us. We're like,
mhm.
"No, that's not it."
That's the truth. So, Meta, what do you wanna what's your question or you're seeking more, I
I
guess?
am, yeah, yeah, this is so wonderful because, um, March the 2nd is my first year anniversary on Substack, and I feel a tug of a pivot.
Okay.
So my inquiry over the next, couple of weeks will be, what is the pivot, you know, pretty general.
What's the pivot?
Yeah. Or
Mhm,
anything that, where do I look? What questions are I asked? I feel a pivot coming on my platform.
mhm.
Yeah, Courtney said March is coming up soon. Yeah,
Yeah.
Courtney, it is.
Well, that's Aries
So,
season, and that's when the zodiacal year starts, so that's probably why everybody is feeling a pull, like, I see a
uh
question about transition here in the chat. That's
okay.
what that feeling is, because 'cause we're about to get it started again. Aries is the ram. Aries is like, "Let's go. What are we doing?"
Yeah, 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 and this is positive. I feel positive energy around this pool,
Okay.
for it. I just wanna, just clarity in what that is.
Yeah. Mhm.
Courtney says we're in late winter. Okay, yep, yep, yep.
Hmm. Hmm. So, I have the Knight of Swords here. Hmm. I feel like that's really positive. And the Knight of Swords also has the heart chakra on here. I'm just gonna pull, and
Mm,
I will come back to it once I
hmm,
so I'm pulling for you okay, I should tell y'all what I'm doing out loud. So, every morning when I do my tarot spreads, sometimes it's like a million cards because that's just what happens, but most times it's just 3, right?
mhm,
So, there is what's the energy around me right now? So, in this case, what's the energy around a pivot for you? Um,
mhm,
and then what do I need to know is the second position, and,
mhm,
um, what do I need to release is the third position, right?
okay.
So, Knight of Swords. Knight of Swords is also very swift energy, so it's fast, right? Uh-oh,
Mhm,
okay. What do you need to know? Huh, okay.
mm,
Yeah, I need to put my glasses on. 9 of Cups, okay. Wish is coming true. That's yeah, that's positive. That's very positive.
okay. That's cool.
And I never take anything as, like, negative per se. Oh, we got thunder now too? Okay, so the small rain has turned to bigger rain. That's good.
Huh, mhm,
So, isn't I never look at the tarot as anything, like, negative per se. Sometimes it's just like, "Oh, you might need to make a tweak," right?
mhm,
Something in, like, a reverse position, for instance.
mhm,
Oh, interesting. That's very interesting. So you got the 8 of pentacles in the what you need to release position. Okay. That's interesting. Okay. So
First one was the 9 of swords, and that what question
no,
was
no,
that?
the first one was the Knight of Swords.
Oh, knight, okay.
Yes, sorry, I didn't speak, didn't enunciate. So, okay, with all of them together, the Knight of Swords is like your pivot's gonna be swift, right? So I have a feeling that whatever you're being drawn to, just go towards it because the heart chakra is on here. Heart is I love. So whatever it is that you love and you're leaning into, you need to bring that in because it's gonna be a
Mm.
swift takeoff. Because the 9 of Cups, look at how the 9 of Cups is sitting on here. It looks satisfied, it looks how
Ah.
satisfied they look at all their, like,
Mhm,
but
mhm,
they're not completely satisfied because you see how they have their arms crossed, right?
mhm.
I feel
Ah.
that that's you because of the last card, which I thought was really interesting. It's the 8 of Pentacles, right? You see how they're hardworking, right?
Mhm,
And so
mhm,
I feel what I'm hearing is that release the idea that it needs to be hard,
mhm.
because it's swift, like, it's quick energy. You're satisfied, but not fully satisfied with the 9 of Cups. You're like, "This was too easy." Like, "This are you sure this is for real? Are you like,
Mhm.
do you really believe, like, that this is"
Mhm,
So,
mhm.
what I'm hearing is and it's interesting, so what the chakras are on here. So we have the heart chakra, but then we also have the sacral chakra, and the sacral chakra is also related to Jupiter. Oh, and the 9 of Cups has Pisces on it. That's your sign. Um,
Mhm.
but the sacral chakra is about creativity, it's about pleasure, it's about abundance, right? Um, and then the solar plexus is about I'm enough, right?
Mhm,
That's the solar
mhm.
plexus is mantra. So it's gonna happen swiftly. So as soon as you take the pivot, it's definitely gonna be like it's gonna feel like drinking from a fire hose, as they say in corporate or whatever, right?
Okay.
You're gonna feel like, "Oh my god, this is happening so fast," you know? Um,
Uh-huh.
but it's saying seize the moment, right? With the 9 of Cups,
Ah,
seize the moment. Big
okay.
determination. So, yeah, you need to know it's gonna be successful, but you gotta make sure you keep your heart, sacral, and solar plexus in mind and keep it balanced. So heart, go swiftly with what you love. Sacred
Mhm.
chakra, make sure you're prepared to receive abundance and be satisfied with it and realize
Mhm.
that it's real and it's something that you have the capacity to hold, right? Because sometimes when we see
Yes.
things changing in front of us, we're like,
Yes.
"We don't like this. We don't like
Yep,
that."
yep.
You know?
Yep, yep, yep.
And the hard worker one, that's so interesting. It's good, like, master your craft because 8 of, Pentacles is also about mastering your craft and continuing to, develop and build upon skills and talents that you already have. But,
Mhm.
again, stuff that you already know, like, "I'm enough." So, whatever that pivot is that you're talking about,
Love it.
it
Love
has to do
it.
with knowing you are enough. So,
Yeah, that resonates.
yeah.
Full flow, no resistance, that resonates.
Yeah.
Yeah, with some, things have been rallying around in my mind that is quite consistent.
Yeah, so you know what it is. Like I told you, I told you all I told you. You know what you're supposed to do, so just do it. Now for funsies, let's see what the
That's
freak has
funny.
to say. They you know what you have to do, and
That's so funny.
you have sacral and heart. I lit a push candle, when I sat back down. I usually light them for tending to self-love,
Mhm.
especially on a day like today when everybody's obsessed with, you know,
Mhm,
their
mhm.
but
Yeah,
the sacral is definitely about tending to that.
yeah.
What's what the heartstrings has
Did
to say.
did you see Mira's comment?
Yes, mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna get to her. So, okay, it's a Rihanna song, and it's 3 of Swords, but, um, so, okay, these are romantic, but they also are not because of just how my brain works. So, the song lyric is, "I saw her pictures and the letters she sent. You had me thinking you were out with your friends, but the message that I wrote is the truth hurts, but it frees you from illusion." And it's
Mm.
so interesting because you're Pisces, and Pisces ruling planet is Neptune, right? Yes. And Neptune can be about dreams, but it could also be about illusions. So again, just
Mm.
reinforcing whatever illusions you think that's about. That's just, they just tell you again, trust your third eye, trust your intuition because Gemini is in here too, right? Trust your intuition. Capricorn too.
Okay.
Yeah. They're just like, "No illusions, Netta." They're like I'm gonna look for everybody in the collective because
Uh,
oh,
funny.
that is funny. Okay.
Mm.
So, Courtney, see you later, Courtney, if unless you're already
Alright, Courtney, have a great one.
that's funny. Miss Netta, they're like I told y'all sometimes they be like, "You already know what you're supposed
Ye
to be doing,
I
go
know.
do it." So, they
Yeah,
always
it had
like
to be me.
yeah, well, it's usually me, so don't you over here pulling cards and you know what you're supposed to be doing. Okay. I hate
Oh,
okay.
that's funny, funny. Hi, Millie.
So Mara Bade said, "I'd like to know how to navigate the transitional phase in my life." Hmm, hmm. Hi, Millie. Hello. Hello, hello, hello. Oh, the rain sounds so
Mhm.
pretty. I wish y'all could hear it too.
Yeah, it's
I love
nice.
rain.
Rain, yes.
And I finally got my libations. I got a little Sprite over here in the glass.
Okay, good, good, good.
Cheers. We never really did that, did we?
We
Cheers.
didn't. We'll have to do it. Cheers. Mm.
Well, it's not quite Sprite, it's Shasta because Sprite is a little harsh sometimes,
Mhm.
and I don't have it in me. Um, mm. So how do you navigate this transitional phase in your life?
Additional phase.
Oh, okay, I heard before I heard with openness. Mhm. So that's the first thing I'm hearing.
Openness.
Yeah, sometimes I hear stuff first, so I hear with openness.
Mhm. Mhm.
I got a feeling it in my heart space. I feel like it's tightening a little bit in my heart space. So there's something in I don't know. Okay, let me see what the cards are saying. Like you know how Nana when they say like your heart has hardened or something to that effect, like
Yeah.
towards
Mhm.
something.
Yeah.
I don't think that your heart is hardened, but y'all remember that song by
Mm.
Omarion? I got this ice box where my heart used to be. I'm so cold.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah,
Cold.
yeah.
My hands are cold too, so, like, really cold now.
Yep,
S
yep, yep.
okay, I don't know what that means, Mira, but hang on, okay?
Yeah. It feels like the opposite of openness.
Yes. It's like you need to thaw or something. Come
Yeah.
sit by this candle, maybe
That's
it'll warm
we
you up.
when we are too it's
Oh,
uh-uh.
okay,
What?
sorry.
What? What?
Huh. It's the 5 of Wands in reverse. This is the energy around you, so compromise. This
Mm.
is talking about openness, 'cause so 5 of Wands is usually like you're in battle, you're fighting, you know? Um, and sometimes it could be people fighting with the same goal, but they're fighting each other, so it's a hard time to get there, you know? But in this
Mm.
case, since it's in reverse, there might be some fighting that you've been doing, like, to yourself, you know? So, I'm hearing compromise, if there are any disputes, resolving them, or maybe removing yourself from them because we can't always resolve them. Okay. Oh, and then the Justice card in reverse. The Justice card has been making appearances like crazy. So what you need to know, you're out of balance, right?
Mm.
So and the heart chakra's on here. It's probably where I was like it's tight there. And I've been talking about balancing the scales for yourself. People get Libra wrong, and I talk about this every time I talk about the Justice card because it's helpful to like start breaking down the stereotypes of the signs. But Libra, people call Libra wishy-washy because Libra is the scales, it's balance. So Libra is often striving for balance and harmony, but when Libra feels like it's not getting met with balance and harmony, that's when you see a whole different side of Libra where you're like, "Whoa, where did this person come from?" Well, you haven't been meeting them where they want you to meet them. But the problem is we can't expect people to meet us or we want them to meet us if we haven't told them, 1. 2, we also can't continue to fill the gaps for people if, you know, like, we need to give people a chance to meet us and fail us or come through for us, right?
Mhm.
So, there's some compromise that needs to happen. Um, again, if you can't settle the dispute, remove yourself for right now. Um,
Mm.
and then your heart is hard, but that's because you haven't been putting yourself first in this transitional phase.
Mm.
That's what I'm saying, reverse cards are not bad, it's just tweaks, right? So it's
Mm.
like, we need to make this tweak, like, death coming out might not be, like, it's not actual death sometimes, like, well, most times
Mhm.
it's just release
Mhm.
or something ending without us, wanting it to.
Yep.
Mm, okay, so justice in reverse, interesting.
Hmm.
Oh my god, okay, so this card fell out, so I'm animated, sorry. It's the 8 of Swords, and the 8 of Swords is wrapped up. I'm just gonna show y'all what it looks like because that's helpful. See how it looks like that? So the 8 of Swords is like powerlessness, right? The 8 of Swords is like, woe is me. I have no power in this. I have no say in this. Um, what you need to release in this transitional phase is acting like you don't have any power over things when you do. So again, we're looking for people to balance the scales for us, but we need to balance it ourselves. Venus is
Mm.
also associated with justice, right? With the justice card, Venus rules Libra and Taurus as a sign. And again, Venus is like, is it is that pleasing to me? Is that fair for me? Is that, and you have power, you have say in that, but you're acting like you don't. And again, you have it upright. So solar plexus is I am enough, you are enough. That seems to be a
Mm.
theme today. And it goes back, I feel like, to the overall theme of chapter 31, which is about reciprocity, right? Love,
Right.
like a rubber ball, it ought to bounce both ways. So, in this transitional phase, make sure you're being seen and accounted for by
Mhm.
you, right?
Mhm.
So,
Wow.
that's what I would say.
That's rich there. Not
And
just
then
a mirror.
Knight of Cups came out here from my deck, from the heartstrings, and it's about romantic vulnerability and emotional openness. And it has the heart chakra on here. I can't make this stuff up. I just wanna show y'all.
Oh.
There's emotional I wrote that. That's my handwriting.
Mhm.
Vulnerable
Mhm.
and emotional openness. So, yeah, Mara Mara Bade, girl, be open, but, like, look after you. You owe you, you know? So,
Wow.
that's what I got coming through.
Wow. I like that too, the I am enough on
Yes.
both of us, you know?
Mhm.
I am
Well,
enough.
because that's the hardest thing about being human, I feel like, is, like, there's when you're creating, when you're transitioning, especially when you're transitioning, you're so vulnerable, and when you're creating, you're vulnerable, and
Mhm.
just because we're going through these major moments in our lives doesn't mean that, like, everything else around us stops, you know? Like, there's a
Yeah.
lot of successes happening, things changing in my life, but those are perceived successes, and they're great, but that doesn't mean that there isn't other stuff going on underneath the surface, right? So we always have to have that come back to that foundation of being enough. Otherwise, during these moments, we kind of, you know, we be flapping in the wind, and it's okay sometimes too, but it can be
Yeah.
hard.
Yeah.
Mm,
Love that.
wow. Okay.
Love that.
Mm. And Mara Babe, you said that this resonates.
Mm.
It probably is something that you already knew you needed to do anyway. Again, like, I love
Look,
readings to remind you, but you already
look,
knew.
see Mira, she calling us out
Like, yeah,
for
mhm.
not having knowing.
Yes, it is hard when there's other stuff going on. This is so true. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
This has been a pleasure,
It
Nita.
has. It has.
Yeah.
It has been a pleasure, and I thank you so much for this time, this
Yeah.
afternoon delight, sharing, Burnett with you all, but also the readings.
Mhm.
Um, Man, it just feels warm.
It does, yeah.
Feels
My hands are warming back up now that I stopped reading from Mara. My body gets so involved at this point.
Oh, yeah, you can see it. Yeah, we see it.
Yeah. I'm like, "Oh."
And we appreciate it. We
Absolutely.
appreciate that.
Well,
Yes.
I don't know, anybody else? I mean, I'll sit here for just a few more minutes just in
Yeah.
case, but while we wrap up, if no one else wants to, be brave and throw something in the chat, that's okay. But, you know, sending love, yeah, you need to thaw yourself out. That's not where my heart used to be. I'm telling you, that's how my brain works. That's how it talks to me is through songs and pop culture, like movies and TV and stuff, and I didn't realize it until one of my friends pointed it out to me. She was like, "God really be talking to you through." I was like, "Oh, yeah, actually, yes, okay." Um, do you do Medium? Like, are you talking about the app, Millie, or like actual like Medium channeling? Like, what do you mean? I was on Medium for a hot second, but me and Medium broke up because I just didn't I felt like I was shouting into the void over there, and I like to build, friendships. Oh, like Afterlife? I believe in Afterlife, but that's not my specialty or anything like that. Oh, channeling. Not in that way, no. Uh-uh.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I mean, I shouldn't say that because, I it's not something that I could turn on demand. I wouldn't say I've mastered that enough to be like, "Oh, let me go do this right now," you know? Whereas, like, there's more practitioners that do that. But what I would say is, like, oh, Lakeisha, the high priestess, knows. We did a live together, and I did a reading for her just like this, like what we did today, and, my spirit team, I love them, and they're always with me, and they're my besties, and they're also very nosy. Ooh, the candle is flickering. Yeah, I'm talking about y'all. Uh, they're very nosy, and they dropped something in me, and I had to catch myself because y'all know I told y'all earlier, I say the thing that I had to catch myself because I was like, "Spirit, now y'all know you're being messy. I'm on a live channel with this woman and all these people." We had, like, 50 people in the room that day, and I was like, "I can't tell this woman's business like this in front of the channel." And I had to catch and she knew, and I was like I had to catch myself. I was like, "Don't say that. Say
Mhm.
something else around it and tell her later the real insight that you were gonna tell." I can put the themes out there, but I can't put her whole
They was like,
business
"You
out there.
asked and we telling."
I was like, "But y'all see all these people here?"
Yeah, just that we don't care about that.
Mhm.
Yeah. Do you feel all of us have that ability though
What?
to channel, to
Yeah, I
hear?
think so. I feel like
Yeah.
so. I mean, especially when it comes to, like, our own, spirit team but see, the thing is, I think that everybody channels in different ways, right? Because,
Mhm.
like, I don't know. I just think it's you have to be okay, high priestess moment, right? You have to be inward enough and slow down enough and be silent enough to really realize the way that they're talking to you, you know?
Yeah.
Um, because it could be silent little like things, little whispers, and it's often the things that sometimes we ignore, but if we're getting used to tapping into it, and of course I don't have my little yellow book with me again, but I was telling folks on one live before, I have this little yellow book, and sometimes I'll write stuff down when I was, like, originally starting to, like, get more in touch with myself and being like, "Was that me or was that them?" You know?
Mhm.
And I would start writing stuff down and then kind of, like, weighing it so that I could, like, decide, like, was this start to really sit with that and trust it more, you know? Um,
Mhm.
but I do believe that we all have the ability to, we just have to listen, and we also have to not get so caught up on, like, what we've seen it look like in ritual or at other readings
Movies.
too. Yeah, especially y'all, that's why I'm excited about doing tarot because I feel like, there's all of these ways or things that people say you should interpret something as. Yeah, there's a standard meaning for something, right? But in conjunction with other cards or in conjunction with what my intuition is telling me is gonna
Sure.
look different. Or the way that Omarion came through and told me I got an icy box where my heart used to be, right? Like, it's
Yeah.
just you have to listen, because it comes through you. So I feel like if we're listening, yeah, it comes through different ways. I also feel it in my body when I sit down to read and I pay attention
Mhm.
more, whereas I used to ignore my body because, we're in this culture of work, work, hustle, hustle. So,
Mhm. Mhm.
well, our bodies, the people say, "I'll sleep when I'm dead." No. You know, like, so I do believe we
Yeah.
have the ability to channel, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I think so too. It is what
Mhm.
we allow and what we cultivate and what we, again, wrap truth around that. So I believe that too. Um, and, Millie's question, her comments, got me to thinking that. I don't know, Millie, your thoughts about that, but, she wrote that she's been missing her son a lot, and she wants you to pull a card for Charles, her son. Um, I think you can, if you want to, connect with Charles, if you want to.
Yeah, you
I
could,
know
Millie.
some people don't want to for a lot of different reasons. A lot of time it's fear. If you were like me, you were taught, "Oh, no," it was a woo-woo bad thing.
Mhm.
But, the awesomeness of our ancestors before they got to this land, oh, they probably was wearing all of that out.
Oh, they were. They were.
They're wearing all of that out without
They
any issue. Yep.
they definitely were.
Yep, yep, yep.
Some of us who are alive today were there, so y'all know in your spirits and your bones. And Millie, it's so interesting. So, um, I'm sorry about your son, and,
Mhm.
um, so my best friend, she passed away when she was 36, and her uncle, Uncle Charles, he's everybody's favorite uncle.
Mm.
And so it's just sweet, and then one of my neighbors, that's his name too, so that's really sweet that was just a good reminder. So, I'll pull a card for Charles. I'll pull one from the tarot, and I'll pull one from my Heartstrings Oracle, okay? I love how those little coincidences,
Yeah.
well, never really coincidences, truth be told.
Mhm.
You're so welcome, Millie. Oh god. Okay. Mm. I feel like I wanna cry, I feel like I wanna well up, but they're not falling, so that's interesting.
Mhm.
Because I put my hands over my eyes.
Mhm.
Oof, okay. I'm starting to feel it like, where your neck starts to meet your back, like,
Mhm.
almost between the shoulder blades, but not quite, so that's, like, heart space.
Mhm. Mhm.
Also, I'm getting, like, throat space, so you said you connect to Charles often, Millie. I don't know if there's things that you wish you could have said to, you know, Charles while he was alive, but it's, like, teetering between the throat chakra space and the heart space. So,
Mhm.
um, I would just anything you wish you would
Yep.
have told him, wish you
Mhm.
would have said, I would.
And Millie, how old was Charles when he left this realm? If you're okay to answer.
Mm, mm. Oh, that's beautiful. It's Millie, it's the,
Mhm.
oh, and he was 21. I am so sorry.
21? Yeah, me too.
Wow, I'm so sorry. Millie, it's the star card for Charles,
Mm.
which is beautiful. Um, it's a card of hope, right? And it's actually Aquarius's major arcana card, so it's interesting we're still in a Aquarius season when that came out too. Um, And, this is such an ironic card considering, that he's not here, because the motto for this card is, "I am optimistic about the future." So, I just think that that's telling you that he's okay, you know?
Mhm.
He is okay, and to have hope. And, again, I believe in past lives, believe in future lives, so, I whatever his future is, he's hopeful, he's optimistic about it, and I think that's also just giving you permission to be more optimistic and hopeful about your future too, right?
Mm.
'Cause, losing a child, my mom passed away, so I witnessed, my grandmother's own grief around losing a child, and, it's not the order of things, right? And so it just
Mhm.
feels like, okay, well, then what is the point of life if that's how it's
Mhm.
gonna go? And so I think he's really asking you to be hopeful for the future.
Mhm.
Mm. Even if it's not with him. Oh my god, yeah. And here we are. Um, the number 3, crossroads, liminal, in between, doors open, paths clear, right? He's playful, tricky, right? So, yeah, you're at a crossroads of some kind too, and so, um, but also, how do I say this? Because the star, right, is about hope and it's about direction, it's about renewal, right? And so, I don't know, there's some type of in between, I don't know, in between you're at. So I don't know if you're living, not to say I'm trying to say this delicately, not to say don't remember your son, right? Like I have a whole altar space dedicated to people who have passed on. And one of the things that I learned when you build an altar space, you anything you put or offer for your ancestors. Let's say I put like, I have a bowl of Snickers on my, altar because my mom loves Snickers, that was one of her favorite candies. I wouldn't then go dip into that candy bowl and eat it, you know? Um, I have oh, wow, he's a Libra, wow. Um, but I wouldn't dip into that candy bowl and eat it, and so there still has to be some separation between the dead and the living, and we don't honor the dead by becoming one of them. That's the way that it's coming out, uh,
Mm.
meaning that
Uh, ooh.
we don't wanna live so far in
Oh.
the past that we don't live. Just I'm hearing
Uh,
t live in the present too. So
oh.
honor him and make his place for him
Mm.
in your home, but don't hang out there so much,
Wow. Ooh.
you know? He wants you to really live.
Ooh. I felt that. I felt that. I felt
Yeah,
that.
I'm sorry. Sometimes as I feel a way because I'm like, "That's a little harsh, y'all," but I hope what you get where I'm coming from and you don't feel like I'm ganging up on you. 'Cause, I've dealt with many of people, like, passing and stuff, and,
Mhm.
yeah, it can be hard, especially I couldn't imagine. I don't have
Yeah.
kids.
Yep, yep, yep.
Um, whew.
I asked Charles' age because I started to feel vibrancy,
Yeah.
feel life. I felt light. I felt high, not heaviness,
Yeah,
not sorrow. I felt um life.
like, hope. Yeah,
I
yeah.
felt life. I felt
Mhm,
hope. And yeah, and you read some of those like future and the
mhm,
thing is bright and everything. And a lot of this will beg us to examine our thoughts about the afterlife or death and things like that.
mhm,
Um, I personally strongly believe that the body is the only thing that dies, if in a sense.
mhm.
The spirit transformed. It's still vibrant, still living, and
Yeah.
I interact with my parents and whoever I kind of, you know, feel like I need to tap into, knowing that they are still there.
Yeah.
I can't tell you what all they're doing and what form or where. I can't go anywhere and point to them,
Mhm.
but they're very much there.
They are. They're a part of your everyday. If you like, oh, today, because my mom passed, and I was up early in the morning, but I was scrolling on YouTube, and I saw this video, and it was a preview of, the movie version of Dear God, It's Me, Margaret, and that was one of my sister's favorite books that my mom had, given to her to read, and I was like, "Oh, I need to send this to my sister," and I got this chill up my leg, and I was like, "Okay, mom, Imma do it right now. Imma do it right now, mom." I just knew. I was like, "Okay,
Oh,
do
yeah,
it now."
yeah, yeah.
I
They will let you know they're there with stuff and conversations and all type of things that are not memories.
Mm-mm.
They're actually, like you said, that encounter you had with your mother or whatever little thing that might happen.
Mm,
And I'm glad Millie said, "I feel him too." Yeah,
yeah.
he is fully there.
Yeah, he is. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Oh
that
my
is great. And, what came through you is that the best thing we can do is not to be one, is not to die.
Mhm,
One, because they're not dead.
mhm.
Yeah, so we should not die. It reminds me of somebody saying about poor people. The best thing you can do for poor people is not be one,
Yeah.
right? Because if you're one, you can't help
No.
anybody else, right? It's the same kind of principle
Yes.
about that. Yeah, we
That
can live. Wow.
wow. This has been such a pleasure. I didn't expect it to get so deep today, but I appreciate you all for trusting us with, just with your energy because I don't take it lightly,
Yeah.
and, being vulnerable. Like, I just really appreciate you both, and everybody who is witnessing.
Yeah, everybody. We were meant to gather today,
We were.
those of us in the room.
Yeah.
And I so appreciate you, Empress, and all of you. High Priestess, I saw Lamar step in.
Yeah.
Um, I guess we called her up when we were talking about her.
This is part 2 of doing spiritual shit with my friend Bar. Part 1 was yesterday. Oh my gosh.
Oh, that's funny.
Mm,
That's funny, funny.
yeah.
Thank you so much, Empress. You're always such a amazing experience.
Thank you. Thank you. I
Yeah,
appreciate hearing that.
always such an amazing experience, and, so glad to be in the room with you, so thankful that you give me the Burnett space and that you use, your allowing, your cultivation to speak into us the way you did, and
Absolutely.
I and I'm ready for my swift pivot.
Okay. Yeah, I can't wait to see what the announcement is. Oh, yeah.
Mm,
I'm
yeah,
good for you.
yeah, yeah, Mira's gotta move through her transition, and
Mhm,
yeah, Millie's got her thing going with her precious one.
mhm.
I'm feeling good right now.
Yeah, me too. I feel like we're having a really hard time ending this because the energy feels so good. It feels so deep
I
and
know.
it's cozy.
I know, it is, it is. Is there something else we were supposed to be talking about? Is somebody in the room holding us up? 'Cause it isn't like neither one of us wanna be the first to say goodbye.
Don't get me started
I
singing.
know that's in your deck somewhere.
No, it's not, though, and I'm like, every time I hear another song, I'm like, "Okay, how many maybe I need to make I'm like, I can't add that many songs to it." Yeah, it is the energy.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe we need it. Listen, I hope all of you feel loved today. You don't need February 14th to
Mhm.
tell you that you're loved
Yeah.
because I love you, we love you. So I hope you're all feeling that,
Yeah.
knowing that you're loved, you express. Burnett says it bounced both ways. So just check that.
Mhm.
in your relationship, but I hope you guys do feel love and that you don't need the calendar to
Yeah.
tell you that.
Mhm. That's so true. I think it's funny too because, like, our mom, she used to leave us these little love notes, for Valentine's Day or, like,
Mm.
those little diaries that they would get little girls where they had the little lockets on them and stuff. She
Yeah, uh-huh, yeah,
was really into, like, just celebrating any day, and she
uh-huh.
even make up holidays too, and,
Oh, that's the best ones. Those are the best ones.
so I felt
Yeah,
like that video was just her little love note, this morning.
that's beautiful. I'm sure that's beautiful.
Yeah, but we
Nearly forgot it was Valentine's Day.
I know nobody was really acting like I did see this man picking roses for his woman at the store today, and I was like, "Oh," I'm assuming for his partner today. Uh,
Yeah, yeah,
that's
yeah, yeah.
sweet, but
Yep.
people were buzzing and on by and, as busy. I did teach a man how to say Happy Valentine's Day in English because he was asking me, and I was like, Happy Valentine's Day. And he was teaching me in Spanish, and now I can't remember. I think it was
Oh,
Este Amoro, he said, or yeah, Amoro, something like that, or Amor,
okay,
Feliz de Amor is better than Happy Valentine's Day.
okay.
It sounds more
Sounds better.
like
A little sexier.
well, I think it's more like Happy Day of Love is how it might translate into English. That's
Oh,
why I like it better than, like,
yes.
Have a Valentine's Day. It just sounds more like happy love, like love
Happy
is
love. Oh, that's a good one.
mm,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's a good one. Happy Love Day.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I like that. I like that.
Well, I guess I don't know, we're both hesitating, so I feel like there's something there, so maybe we just sit in it for a little bit and just keep chit-chatting, but I
Yeah,
don't feel like
it
ending the vibe just yet.
I know, it feels like there's something more.
Mhm.
There's something more.
Mm.
Hmm,
Maybe that's just their way of saying we need to do this again and be cozy while we do it. You know
because
what I
what we
would
did.
like to do?
What?
I would like to get you I'm telling them because 'cause they're here too, Lamar, High Priestess Lakeisha, and myself on a live.
Yes,
I would
yes.
like that. I don't know what we would talk about, but we would do
And
something.
we talk about a lot.
Like,
We
yeah,
could do a lot of stuff.
yes. So I would like that because I know you can do more than 2 people on Substack.
Okay, that would be fun.
So,
Get
like
some sounds going. We could do a little writing prompt.
okay,
You know, we could
yeah,
talk about living in truth,
mhm,
shaking the craziness off.
okay,
Yeah, that's another thing, y'all. Don't let the craziness get you down.
mm,
Cause just like Jesus said about the poor people, the crazy you gonna have with you always.
that's the truth.
So don't let the crazies get you down.
I guess this is a good question and maybe for the audience to, too, but that is something that has come up for a lot for people, like, on their journey to being seen and putting out their work. Like, how I know your book is really crucial for people right now, but how have you navigated your intake of the news and what you, um and just more so, like, because I feel what I've been hearing for people is, like, this guilt of not constantly talking about what's going on and talking about their stuff, and maybe you could speak to that, especially with you promoting a book right now.
Yeah, me personally, I try not to listen to I'm just plugging up my phone because with this wonderful energy, I want to make sure technology doesn't get in the way.
As this
But I don't give a lot of space to the news. I want to have some awareness, but where I believe true self is, I think at our core is divinity, and we rise above those things. So like you talk about a lot, if we're fully human, we're fully divine, we navigate those two things.
Mhm,
And I think we can go up. I like to liken it to Jacob's ladder, where at the bottom of the ladder is the earthly, more fully human. The top of the ladder is divinity, more fully divine. And I think we can choose to navigate up and down the ladder based on what we're doing at the time and what we need to do. Sometimes we have to come down the ladder to engage in things that that needs to be done in the world of Caesar or with people who may not be so far up the ladder, who we wanna connect with,
mhm,
but I believe we can choose to go to the top of the ladder, which is above the noise of the world.
mhm,
If you look at what's happening with the world out of the White House and everything, it's totally human-minded, um, ego-minded. It's the lowest rung on the ladder. If you even if it may not even be on the Jacob's ladder, but it's the lowest vibration
yeah,
of it. It doesn't mean it's not valid or real or whatever, but it's the lowest of what n- human nature can be.
yeah,
Yeah, but we don't have to live there and we don't have to allow that to dictate our response or
yeah,
what we do or what we can believe. So I think part of the wisdom of Burnett, the truths, are ways to help us, you know, be higher on the ladder, owning our God, owning our goddessness to create our own worlds and to not outsource that to other people or other institutions or anybody else to do it because we are little gods. The divine is in us, and let's not throw that away because some bully has a bigger platform and a larger megaphone um in it. That is not going to survive in the long run. So it's kind of getting to that understanding to say the divinity in me is higher than all of this stuff going on.
mm,
And I believe also that's available with everybody. But just like everything else we cultivate, we can choose not to acknowledge that. And we can choose not to cultivate our divinity. And we can choose to just be merely human and ego driven.
mm,
Or we can choose not to. We can choose, everything that we need, I believe, is in our will. We already have it.
mhm,
So now it's a matter of what are you going to feed? What are you going to cultivate? What are you going to lean into as true for you?
mm,
Yeah.
mm,
So a lot of it I don't wallow in it. I do want to be aware, but I don't want to wallow in it, and I want to keep it in a perspective of, okay, that's what's happening in the world. I have a response. I'll figure that out, but then I'll, kind of go my way, you know.
yeah. I
Mhm.
I hear you on that, definitely. And I feel like we do hear about the news through most people anyway, on top of that.
Mhm. Yep, yep. And we can give it power, we can give it energy.
Mhm,
Um we can give power to anything we choose to give power to. And what we give power to will rule us if we say it rules us, right? What we
mhm.
say, it goes. So that's why, I'm leery of people talking about the devil and all that kind of stuff because
Just preach it to the choir. That's one of my, like, I feel like that's probably one of my pet peeves or, like, my irks. It makes me itch all over when, things are blamed on the devil and this
Y
and
yeah,
that.
yeah, it is a form of outsourcing. People a lot of times do not want to be responsible for their own thinking and their own decision making, and they wanna say somebody else did it, and we create these things
Mhm,
to blame it. Yep. I
mhm,
saw something came through on my Substack feed I think it was a minister. I think he was Doctor Reverend or Reverend Doctor or something like that, and he was writing something about the devil, and I said, "You know, I kinda wanna read it out of curiosity, but I don't wanna read it because I know I'm gonna wanna respond." And that might open up a can of worms.
Maybe oh, oh, maybe maybe your pivot has something to do with what you're talking about, stuff like that. I don't know. Maybe you need to go a bit more into your ragey bag, Miss Netta. Mm.
Yeah, now, like, and I thought, "There go me again," going against the grain, going against what other people think. I'm like, "Oh, Lord, here I go again."
Well, I think it's like, when you put stuff out there,
Mm.
like, I guess as people who are creating constantly, we know that not everyone is thinking for themselves when they go to read things. So I feel like my rage around those things doesn't just come from the opinion itself, but it comes from the fact that we know people aren't, doing their own research. So I feel like as creators, we have due diligence, sometimes around like, just, helping folks out and not go fully down the I know it's not our responsibility, but that's where my rage comes from a lot of us, like, "Oh, you know they're not gonna do research about that, why you put that out there?" Like, but anyway.
It's funny. I said people, humans, funny,
Mhm.
just funny.
Lamar said practicing restraint. I mean, you might need to
Yeah.
let go of the reins, just, like that message I got last night, "Get crazy, let's get
Get
crazy,
crazy.
let's get crazy."
Let's get crazy. Let's go nuts.
As Prince, "Let's go crazy, yeah."
Let's go crazy. Let's get nuts. Cause sometimes I just be wanting to just go all in on things, but
So that seems like your assignment because the Knight of Swords is like that energy is rushing in.
really?
Yeah, the Knight of Swords be charging and doesn't
Be
always think
charging,
yeah,
going in swinging.
yeah, doesn't always think but the thing is you have all that success stacked up behind you because 'cause you've been building mastery for a long time, so
Mhm, mhm.
just saying.
Yep, yep, yep. And I've learned how to, um, go into a situation like that, with my true self, but also in love. So even something like that, usually I will go in with a question.
Mm,
Yep, yep.
mhm,
And, I don't do religion, I definitely do God, but I do think there are truths in all of the teachings that I can draw from, that I pull from. Like, I was raised in Christianity, um, and I have priests, and, the Bible, is in me. It was kinda baked in me, but I kinda discern, what's true, what's not true. So much has been added and taken from, all that type of thing. But I like the way a lot of times in the teachings and when the writings about Jesus, Yeshua, that person would go in with a question
mm,
versus coming in saying, in the way this person is depicted, they wouldn't have known a lot of the answers, but he would go in with a question. Do you want to be made whole?
mm,
And sometimes that's a question people need to ask themselves because sometimes that answer is no, I do not want to be whole.
mm, that's the real tea.
Yep.
That is the real tea, yeah.
Yep.
I mean, yeah, like, do you wanna take accountability right now?
Do you
No,
wanna pay for it? Yeah. Do you
no,
wanna
I don't want to.
I don't want to. Yeah. Do you
Mhm,
wanna research and maybe consider that that person you're talking about is in you? Maybe
mhm,
that's you?
mhm, mhm.
No, but anyway.
That's like what I was like, "Look," I was like, "I'm about to tell you something, but I'm not trying to be productive right now, so we're just gonna let it hang out there, and then we'll be productive in, like" and she was like, "Okay."
Oh my goodness.
Oh,
Oh my goodness. It's too funny. It's too funny. Empress, what are we gonna do?
I don't know, I feel like we've okay, so I feel like we've hung on as I don't know what it is, maybe
Don't
it's
know
just
what it is.
been enjoying
Yeah.
and everybody's been sharing very vulnerably here in the chat. So,
Yes.
yeah, we're trying to land the plane, yeah, because I just feel like a lingering energy, and we both neither one of us is neither one of us
Neither one of us wants
is
to be the first to say.
then we have to end it like that. Oh, I'll tell a story maybe then since we're talking about music, and then we'll end it, okay? I promise y'all. I know you guys don't wanna leave either because 'cause you're still here.
You're
Let's
still here. Yep, yep, yep.
together.
And people just join. There was nothing alcoholic in my glass. I don't think there's anything.
Y'all know that.
Yeah, we just on a high with spirit
I
right
was
now.
I was drinking water on a Zoom call the other day, and somebody was like, "Oh, are you" I think the trainer said it to me, "Are you drinking vodka?" I was like, "No, I don't." Oh, I would not bring it on the on the call.
Thanks, Mustafa, for
Thank you.
coming in. Billy wrote a book.
About my son, it was more of a grief project. Where's Char Aw.
Aw.
Did you just do it for yourself, or did you put it out there?
Wow.
Maribel said, "I think this needs to be repeated." I think that's the energy. Very likely. Yeah.
Maybe so. Maybe so. Let's do the foursome for real. That'll
Yeah,
be too much fun.
I think so. I
The
think that one
party time. Yep, yep, yep.
was self-published space. Oh, that's really cool. Why don't you send me the link and I'll put it in the show notes too. I think everybody would love to
That we would.
do that.
How wonderful.
See, maybe that's what we were waiting for, Amelia, is for you to
Maybe so, Millie.
mhm. But yeah, send it to me, on my DMs, and I'll make sure to put it in this post when it comes out too, okay? Um, well, I think we're at the close.
At
Um,
the
what's
close.
that other song? It's, hold on, it's coming to me. Oh, come on. I think it's a Smokey Robinson song, but it's not coming to my brain anymore. It was there.
Okay, okay.
But anyway, it was a pleasure. Um, I'm a little embarrassed because a lot of people don't get it.
Mm-mm.
Oh, is and you don't wanna share it? It's okay if you don't wanna share it too, I understand that. Um, and it's okay if people didn't get it, is you did it for you, so that's amazing.
Yeah, that's the main thing. And maybe people who don't get it aren't the ones supposed to get it,
Mhm.
if you know what that means. It
Yeah,
wasn't for them.
yeah. I mean, I
Yep.
think it was for this season and this space and, um,
Yep,
yeah.
yep, yep, yep. But look, Millie, you don't know what Charles might do with that, though.
Mhm. Yeah, you have no idea.
Never idea what might happen with it. Okay.
Alright.
Could not land this plane.
I did again.
This didn't help me. Maybe it wasn't Millie. Maybe Millie wasn't holding us up.
Mhm, we were waiting for you, Millie.
I know, but this has been good.
It has. So I think we will end it here definitively, but the energy doesn't have to end. So, sending everybody love and, you know,
Yes.
continue this cozy vibe at home. I'm gonna play that Dear God, It's Me, Margaret. I got myself some little cakes and I'm gonna make myself some ramen and I'm going to
Ah,
snuggle up with the kitties. They're somewhere around here.
nice.
Just relax now because it's a 3-day
Relax.
weekend. So,
Yep, yep, yep.
yeah.
All right. Love you. Love all of you guys. Bye.
Bye, you all. See you next time. Thanks, Netta.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.